Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abdubaki Bukari. I'm Awesome Africa TV host and producer. The show that gives African rising stars, both on the continent and in diaspora, the opportunity to share their stories, their challenges, and successes, as well as their goals for the future. Today, we are pleased to welcome Ms. Catherine Warren, who is a host and a producer of a talk show called The Next Chapter, where she discusses shades of grey with her guests. During this program, Ms. Catherine will be sharing more about herself, and she will also continue from our previous conversation regarding her trip to Ghana, Tamale, as a volunteer for the 2025 Cultural Oneness Festival with the Harlem Tourism Organization. To start off, Ms. Catherine, can you please introduce yourself one more time to our viewer?
Well, hello, everyone. Yeah. Hello, Awesome Africa TV. I am Minister Cat, a.k.a. Miss Kitty Rose, and I'm so happy and excited to be back on Awesome Africa TV with my co-host in broadcasting and friend, my African brother friend,
long-time friend.
Baki. Yeah. So, hello, everyone.
So, Ms. Katina, as I mentioned in my introduction, last December you traveled to Ghana, Tamale, to assist to the Cultural Oneness Festival, which brought together traditional leaders, youth, creative, and diaspora voices from across Africa and the United States.
Yes.
So we talked about that last time.
Right.
So I want you to take 2 more minutes to just talk a little more about it before we move on.
Well, I want to correct you that I was not a volunteer. I actually was paid by the Harlem Tourism Board to document and be a videographer and United States journalist. So I was an official journalist delegate on this cultural tour. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So I did not volunteer. I got a little check.
So after the show, I'm gonna get to my part, right?
Yes. But just the minute and a half to talk about it. Yes, it is it was the third annual Cultural Oneness Festival in Tamale, Ghana, which I am going back to this year, December 7th through the 17th, for the 4th annual Cultural Oneness Festival. But this time, I'm not going as a hired hand under the Harlem Tourism Board. This time I'm actually going as one of the official sponsors. The Kitty Rose Lifestyle is involved with actually handling and helping, assisting with the actual tour. So I'm excited that my role is changing this year, but once again excited for the congregation of the 54 countries coming together for this 3 days to celebrate the oneness of Black people.
Okay, wow. So we just talked about the cultural oneness, but when we was talking, you mentioned that you want to go back to Ghana. And at this time, by your own.
Yes, Charlie.
So can you please tell me what you're going to do over there?
Well, initially that first week, I will be helping or assisting with the Cultural Oneness Festival. So just securing that the little details of the tour, things that we didn't think about or that the tour guides who are there don't think about, like ice, you know, just simple things like that I'll be helping or assisting in. But after the festival, I'm actually going to be there possibly 2 months afterwards, working with the agricultural area in northern Ghana with the Chief Glenn and his wife, and also working with Prince Noah and Jumanji with the mentorship program that I've been doing with the young girls who are going in school, in Ghana. So hopefully taking the mentorship program out from being virtual and in person, and really see what impactful work we can do in Accra and in Tamale.
Wow, that's good. So, and who is going to host you over there? Because I know Africa is not easy, so where you're going to stay, eating and everything. So are you familiar with the food and the culture?
No and yes. When my last trip to Ghana and my only trip to Ghana, they eat a lot of fowl. They eat a lot. So that was interesting. But I'll be staying for the most part with, like I said, Chief Chris Glenn and his wife, Queen Mother Sabrina, because we have quite a few Americans who have now made the transition. So, you know, I'll be tapping into those. shows. One of my fellow brothers with the Harlem Arts Alliance, he has a school, his family has a school in Accra. So I'll be also staying with them and their family sometime when I'm in Accra to make their commute easier, because it's a flight. It's like a 2-hour or hour flight from Tamale to Accra. But yes, I have made, and now that as of, you know, when this show airs, it'll be official. So in between, I will definitely be reaching out to some other folks. I met a sister at the African Arts Festival just 2 weeks ago, and she's an American who lives in Ghana, and she works with all the vendors and brings out their wares for the festivals here in the States. So I'm gonna connect with her. But and then, you know, we know Cabena.
I know that Cabena also is from Ghana.
You know, our fellow BronxNet producer, Cabena, he's from Tema. So I already told him that I'm gonna be coming back to Ghana. So he's also gonna connect me with some of his family. So I'll be making sure that I get connected while I'm out there.
Okay. Oh, if you say you're gonna stay 2 months, right?
Possibly. A month has been confirmed, but I would like to stay 2 months.
2 months. And when is you're gonna leave? It's gonna be in December.
Yes, December till February.
December, maybe. I'm planning to go. I don't know yet.
Okay.
But I'm planning to go to Togo. You know, Togo and Ghana share the same border.
I did not know.
Oh no, we share the same border. Hopefully, if I'm there in December, I will keep in touch with you and go to Ghana to see what you do over there. That would be great. I'm telling you. So we talk about the trip to Ghana, and now, you know, last time we even talked a little bit about that too, but I just you didn't get enough time to elaborate. So you started a workshop here. How to use the social media effectively. So I want you to talk more about that.
I appreciate that, because we only got a chance to touch base with that. But it's so crucial to understand. I've been telling even my young women in Ghana how to effectively use social media. If you're a business owner, I'm not talking to the regular folks that use social media for the social component. But if you're an artist, content creator, business person, then when you use social media outside of your personal life, you want to be intentional. You want to curate what you put out there so that your representation is clear. So if you're just posting just to post, but there's no structure, there's no point, the people don't have an identity to who you are, then it's pointless. You know, it's just posting to post. So we want to make sure that as a business, we post with intention and that it makes sense. I know I always not wonder, but I wonder when I see business owners that, let's say, have IG accounts and it's private. Like, what are you doing? You know, why is your business account private? You know what I'm saying? So it'd be simple things like that that they're not seeing the real value. They're not understanding that stories and reels and posts are all different platforms and different audiences. So if you're going to use it effectively, you have to understand where your value comes from and not post everywhere, because some places may not attract your customer. Like, I don't tweet. Now, that could be a space I'm missing, but I'm not a tweeter. I'm not a tweet. You know, I was never on Twitter. That's not my thing. So I'm not going to do something that's unnatural to me. But I know that I have a core following, let's say on Facebook or LinkedIn. So I'm very intentional and focus-driven about what kind of content I'm curating on social media.
So do you have a training online where people, because you know my show is mostly
global.
Global. So if somebody just want you to teach the person or get the training online.
You know BronxNet gonna cut us off if we say that. They could go to my website. They could go to. But the crazy, beautiful thing about BronxNet is that all of my master classes have been shown on BronxNet. So they could probably go in the archives online to BronxNet.org and find some of my master classes. But they can go to my website and definitely see. I have 6 master classes on my website. Again, being intentional, because as you said, my show that I produce here, I also produce my master classes. So they are professionally done, you know, educatedly driven, and yes, you could go to my website to see them.
Okay, no problem. All right, so you posted on your Facebook page also, marketing isn't about a flyer logo or going viral, so it's communication with purpose.
Yeah, because you may never go viral. You know, I've been in broadcast 10 years now. I have hit and misses going viral. The show we just did last week, I was telling Yarly, who works with us, that went viral. That went into the thousands, almost millions because of that subject matter. But you can't let that waver how you move or change how you think because then it'll be shows that didn't get any type of real views but those will be the shows when people will stop me in the street you know, so I think you just have to stay the course and realize that you never know who's watching. You don't know. It could be 1, it could be 1,000. Right here in BronxNet alone, well, not in BronxNet alone, but my show, for instance, The Next Chapter, here in New York is in 4.7 million homes. That doesn't mean 4.7 million people see it, but it comes on in 4.7 million homes. You don't think at least 1 million of those folks is watching what I'm doing? So I think you just have to stay, you just have to stay the course and not just simplify your business with the logo and the flyer and think, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean? It's also about developing the brand, you know, because people want to know who you are through your brand and they want to make sure that it makes sense so that they feel secure when it comes to doing business with you.
So I'm asking more questions about the marketing because you know that I have a business also. I'm a business owner and then I'm using social media for that. And I have a lot of friends that are doing the same thing. That's why I'm asking more questions regarding that so that they can learn from you.
Thank you.
So, and what do you think about the influencer? Now people are using them to promote their businesses.
I mean, well, that's a business. You know, I personally, and it's weird because I am an influencer, but I'm not. Because I'm like, I wish I would. I already spend enough time on social media. Because again, remember, I use the word curating, which means the person who puts things together, puts what's being put out there. And I could not do the work of an influencer. I could not be online all day showing you how I brush my teeth and what brand and, you know, where did I buy this dress. That's all great. It's a great promotion. It's great. I can tell you the designer and all that stuff. I just, at this stage in my life, I don't have that kind of energy anymore or desire, you know. So I think that if you want to use influencers, why not? Because that is their bread and butter and that's what they're doing all day. I think that Amari from the Bronx native is an influencer. And I would definitely do business with him because I know that he's not an influencer who's on his ass. He's an influencer who's out there, who's doing it, who brands the Bronx and affiliates himself with Bronx businesses. So that's an influencer that makes sense for my brand. So I think influencers are great, especially, you know, the ones who are in their 20s and 30s. That's the new wave. Why not jump on it?
So that's a good time to go to the PSA. The time is up. So we're going to go to the PSA. When we come back, we will continue our discussion with Miss Katrina Warren.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
So we are
looks at his tablet.
Most hiring algorithms would scream me
A
out.
woman walks through a parking garage.
Some bosses couldn't see me as a leader.
A man types on a computer.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
Paper ceiling, noun, the invisible barrier that comes at every turn for workers without a bachelor's degree.
I've been running code as long as I've been able to reach a keyboard.
This is what I do. It's second nature for me, coordinating 100 details at once.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
I sold them on my skills.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
My magic is
Analytics and empathy. That's how I'm getting clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself to show up and defy the odds.
I'm more than what I am on paper.
Alternative routes instead of a bachelor's degree. A woman looks
I never got a college degree. And today, I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm 1 in a million.
when actually I'm one of millions. Stars are all around us. It's time for them to shine.
ThePaperCeiling.org. Join us in tearing the paper ceiling.
So we are back, and I was with Miss Catherine Warren, who is the host of
The Next Chapter,
where
we discuss Shades of Grey.
Okay, so now just wanna ask. That was my last question last time, and then we even didn't get time to talk about it.
Okay.
And I want you to take your time, talk more about it, because this is something that's talking to me myself as African. So what's your opinion on why the African community focuses on organizing more cultural events than economic, educational, or political events?
Because it's the hook. Is what gets his people's attention. You know, I think now, knowing that that's the hook and the draw, then you can incorporate, you know, information, political education, understanding, mental awareness, money, finances. But you got to get them hooked, because we've been programmed to like candy. You know, something that's gonna, you know, make us, you know, taste good in our sweet in our mouth. So you know, they have to do it that way. What happens is that they use the hook, like the story of Pinocchio, as liars, and then they, you know, have their own agenda, and then it's a part of, you know, keeping you in the dark, keeping you clouded. So they give you the dance, you know, they give you the song, the arts, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the make believe of that we're doing something for our community, but it's really just more of, in my opinion, you know, the devil or the things that's against us trying to dress things up to be pretty to keep us distracted. But the organizations like the Cultural Oneness, who uses the arts, because their festival has a fashion show, music, you know, artistry, but in that packaging comes the youth forum, comes the investment opportunities about agriculture. So you have to be strategic yourself, know your own identity, and keep to your agenda. For years, my company this year is 20 years old, but I always have incorporated the arts with education. So I know that I need something sweet, so I'll do like a luncheon at a gallery, but I'll do it for, let's say, a women's organization, so that the women can come out, have a lunch, but then be encouraged by other empowering women in business. But it's an art gallery, so we have art, we'll have fancy food, we'll have a DJ, you know what I'm saying? But we're learning something at the same time, and we're contributing to the art, because we have to rent the space at the gallery, we have to get artists to come and put up their stuff. So it's a
you combine,
exactly.
Those three things. So you use our culture to educate people, and then to do the business at the same time.
So but that's only for those who have that type of intent, who understands that we have to use something sweet to bring you in. But unfortunately, the masses, you know, don't do it that way, because they have their own agenda. So we individually have to not be upset with the agenda, because it is what it is. We just have to figure out how we now can create what we want outside of that agenda.
That's cool. That's true. I strongly agree with you. And in your talk show, you know that sometimes I'm working with my colleagues, control room, when it comes to your show. So you always say something either at the beginning or at the end of the show. That so you say the revolution has begun.
Amen.
So what kind of the revolution you talk about it?
Well, I consider myself a griot of our past trauma. So when I say the revolution has begun, it's kind of like a take on Gil Scott-Heron when he goes, the revolution will not be televised, and here I am on TV talking about the revolution. So instead of saying that the revolution will be televised, I say that the revolution will begin or has begun, because the revolution is the mentals that is now changing. We can't just be like this and say, you know, power to the people. There has to be action the way that there was in the 70s, the way that there was in the 80s. So right now it's not reinventing, but picking up that torch for this generation to understand, to pass the torch, so that they can understand that the revolution is happening now. Change is happening now. Culture is happening now. Love is happening now. You know what I'm saying? Not tomorrow, not later, now, because it has begun.
Yeah. So now, I really understand what you mean about the revolution has begun, because the way I was thinking about it, now the way you explain it, so it's something nice to use to educate our to educate between each other.
It's not war.
Yeah, it's not war. Yeah, that's why.
I ain't fighting.
So when we talk about the revolution, it looks like fighting.
But it is, but not in a killing kind of way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because we are in a war. There's no doubt about that. We are in a war. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. Whether it's man or the war that's happening between God and the devil, we're in a war. So it's understanding that us being a part of that war that means the change starts with us. The change is within us for everything and anything you want in your life.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So in a positive way, we can use all those kind of tools that we have today to empower the next generation.
Yes.
Yeah, to do
and empower
things,
ourselves.
And ourselves too. Yeah, like we are doing now.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think about Trump administration regarding the immigration policies and the mass deportation?
Well, goes back to the agenda again. You know, Trump is, a representation. I know this is not going to be politically correct, but Trump is a representation of the United States. Trump is a representation of the way people in the United States feel that don't want to be open about their racism. So that's why, the deportation is happening, especially during his short time, because he knows he's not coming back into office. So he's trying to get as many people under what he says is criminals, coming into the country. And I'm not saying that that's not the case, but we know for years that you're not leaving your country. Most of the time when people come here, they're mad that they're here because the illusion that this place is greater than their home is, but they left because they thought it was better than where they was coming from. And isn't that what America, the United States is about? You know what I'm saying? So if people have to go through a process legally, but you make the process hard, or people who are born here because their parents are immigrants, but they're born here, but now they have to go back, or you're at work and you get locked up by ISIS. Like, you're not going about it in a very structured way, which makes us all believe that you have an agenda of wanting to once again destroy communities and destroy families. So it's not about Trump and his administration. It's always about understanding your rights as an immigrant or citizen, or an immigrant who's in process of being a citizen, and keeping your head down and being mindful to always, unfortunately, walk around with your paperwork. Because we as Americans think that we don't, can't be affected by that. But I've heard stories of Americans being affected by that. So I think it's really waiting out this man, you know what I'm saying? And then seeing what comes after him, but I think at the end of the day, every administration causes some type of challenges. And we as a people who are strong have to figure out how to remain resilient and strategic. Like, nobody can't be out here like, you do your homework, do your research, and protect yourself. Walk around with your papers.
No, that's true. And also, the beauty about this country is that Trump will only have like 3 more years to go, and then the new administration, maybe they will.
But every administration is crooked. Every administration is crooked. So it really, you have to figure out how you fit in any administration you live in.
It's true. I agree with you. Yeah, so are you a soccer fan? Do you like soccer?
I like Beckham. No, because he's handsome. But it's so funny to watch my son every night turn it on and watch it. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are we watching this? So, no, but I have watched Senegal. Then Senegal and Ghana. So I've been representing my African people, but that's about it. Soccer is football. No.
It's football.
But I will say, the most I know about soccer, and I want to give a shout out real quick. I have a girlfriend who her daughter went to school with my son, Samantha. And Samantha is this mixed white girl who literally had a whole career as a soccer player.
Okay.
She went to school with my son, who's 28, and she played soccer in high school, and from high school paid for her college, and she's traveled. They're now 28, so professionally, Samantha Rosette has been playing soccer all over the world. So I think it's amazing when you can be an athlete and do what you love and make a living and see the world at the same time.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So I think they tell me our time is starting up, but we still have like 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I want to know. Yeah, I want to know where the thing that you do for the organization.
Okay.
And also your business. So where do you want to see yourself 5 years from now?
Okay, so 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So the next chapter is now streaming on Roku, Amazon, and Apple. So I'm going to continue to get more platforms so that the world can continue to see the next chapter where we discuss shades of gray. So as much as I love public access, I'm excited that I am now on a streaming network called In the Black. The work that I'm doing with the girls, every other Monday, 20 to 24 girls show up virtually on our mentorship program that we're doing with the young girls in Ghana. So I'm staying with that after the program is up and doing in-person workshops with them during my time in Ghana for 2027. Volunteering again for this year's 4th annual cultural, not volunteering, look at you. Working again, working at the 4th annual.
I was the one who confused
Put that in, yes. So I'll be working again, the 4th annual cultural oneness.
You've been volunteering in a lot of events. That's
because volunteering is important. Volunteering gives you the entry to organizations seeing what you can do. So in preparing now for my Social Security, my pension, my retirement, when you're self-employed, you don't get Social Security. So right now, you know, I'm making these relationships for my farm in South Carolina, for some investment opportunities in northern Ghana. I'm still working with my orphanage in Kenya. I still got my homegirl in Senegal. I'm doing a trip now to Bali next May. I'm taking 8 to 10 people on a spiritual retreat. So yes, it's just, and you know, I'm still a mom.
Where do you get the time to do all those things at the same time?
Because I delegate my time, and this is what I do. This is my life. This is my business. So everything is still how I structure it, you know, accordingly. And because I'm celebrating 20 years in business this year, I should by now know how to be organized and you know, put everything in its right forecast. So that's what I'm doing. And right now, I'm not a grandmother yet, so I'm trying to do as much as I can before that happens.
That's good. That's good. So you just told me our time just finished. So what's your last word?
The revolution, has begun.
Yeah,
Charlie!
Unfortunately, we have reached the conclusion of today's show. We'd like to thank our guests for stopping by and, of course, you, our viewer, for tuning in. Thank you, and see you next time.